Welcome to Extra presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. I know where I want to go. I definitely know where I want to go. I wanted to go to this place, another point in time, but the mood wasn't right. The feeling wasn't right. Everything just wasn't right. I was in a happy-go-lucky mood. I was in a comedic mood. I was in a fun mood. I wasn't really in a serious mood. I wasn't really in a serious mood and to try to get a point across or try to inform on a different level. I didn't want this to be taken as jokey jokes, even though I got them jokey jokes. Noob, thank you. You greatly appreciate it. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, it feels like every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way because we got this special, unique bond that we share. Sharing is caring. One day, you're going to come up with the answer. We already know the question, but you will have the answer. And there were other times where I wanted to bring this up. Either it wasn't the time, it wasn't the place, or I was actually going through some things personally because of the outside factors that I couldn't control, that was out of my hands. And I just had to figure out ways to move about. I just had to figure out ways to move around in situations that was dealt to me in the best way I could. And yeah, I asked for help, and there was a lot of people who helped me along the way. They shall go nameless because that's how it is. That's how it is. They don't need the credit to be, they don't need to, showmanship. They don't need to, have their, feathers fluff or the street cred or the, anyway, don't want to get sidetracked. Do not want to get sidetracked. Well, regs know that I am definitely a recovering perfectionist. And I still don't have patience per se. I'm still have to be constantly doing something. I am still working on how to relax because my relaxed settings is completely different from everyone else. And that is okay. It's fine. I'm working on multiple things to help me grow personally and to help me out or to help me become a better human being to the world. I ain't the bad guy and I ain't trying to be the bad guy, but if I have to be the bad guy to highlight the good, as long as it's not hurting anybody, hey, so be it. Don't try to make sense of that. Your head will hurt. Don't try to make sense of that. Your head would hurt. And one of the reasons, I don't think I brought this up. So, and if I have, regs, you're on the inside track, noobs, sit back, buckle up. It's about to get, this ride is about to get jumpy. This ride is about to get bouncy. This ride is definitely interesting, to say the least. I realized that I had to change. I realized that I had to do something differently because there was a pattern that I started noticing. There's things that was happening that I started noticing, and I didn't like it because it made not only my life difficult, it made everyone else's life difficult around me as well. And it's not something that I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to work 10 times harder when I can be more efficient and work 10 times smarter, meaning towards what I'm saying and how I looked at the approach. Because when you're a perfectionist to a certain extent, you alienate a lot of people. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're not supposed to care about what other people think. I don't care about what people think. But also, when everybody that you care about and everybody that you consider friends and everybody that you consider family start not wanting to be around you because they have to live up to these expectations that you magically placed on them. And it's not me putting these expectations up on them to make them feel bad or because I don't think they're worthy. It's the opposite. I'm putting these, I guess, was putting these unreal expectations or manageable expectations on them because I wanted them to be a better version of themselves as well. I'm constantly trying to improve. I'm constantly trying to do things differently, find the magic elixir, the magic potion to make things better, to make things more efficient. So my mind is constantly working on improvement. And that's me, the computer freezing. That's me, the computer producing errors. But I had to come to an understanding. I had to realize that some peeps are just okay being okay with mediocre. Some peeps are just okay with just living life and not improving and not wanting to be more efficient. And that's fine. That is okay. That is fine. And that is okay. But it took me a while to get to that. It took me a while to understand that that's fine and okay. And it wasn't like I was being mean. It wasn't like I was having clashes. It wasn't like that I was being this bad guy per se. I was just making suggestions, or I was just saying things, the honest truth. And I was just not taking or not acknowledging that side for what that position, that difference for what it was and for what it is, and moving along or recalibrating my thoughts or recalibrating my intentions or recalibrating period to get the best situation possible for our interactions instead of it being destructive or instead of it being perceived as negative. Because once again, I'm not seeing it as negative. I am seeing this as I'm going out of my way to help somebody out. But you just can't help somebody who don't want help and who says that they need help to begin with. And so there's a lot of minefields. There's a lot of steps that were eggshells that were just crumbling and breaking for a multitude of reasons. It was, okay, Vince is coming. Let's go. Vince is coming this direction. Let's go that direction. I don't need to hear this today. I don't want my flaws presented to me. I know what my flaws, and this is not me talking. This is, a few of them talking, or this is me getting in their head, or this is me just bringing you along in this story so you can understand that this was one thought process, or this was one way of thinking. And how I know, because I asked, and this is what I was told. In the road to recovery, I was asked, I asked, and this is what I told. I don't want to have my flaws thrown back in my face. I know what they are. I'm working on them at my rate, or I'm not working on them because I am comfortable and I am okay with where I am. But me looking at it was like, but you can do better. You can do more. You can be the best version of yourself if you want to. Everybody don't want to do that. Everybody don't want to live that way. Everybody just don't need that in their life. So instead of being confrontational, or instead of pushing back, or instead of saying something, they just avoid it. And I noticed that a lot of people that I considered close, or I considered friends, they were avoiding me, or they didn't want to talk to me as much, or they didn't want to hang around, or they didn't want to. Everything was different. Everything was funny. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. And that was a huge negative of being this perfectionist, and it leaking out. This mindset was leaking out and grabbing up all my friends and family, because they didn't want to be the perfectionists. They don't care about the perfectionists. It is a hard and difficult life to live. That's why I am a recovering perfectionist. I am no longer a perfectionist. How, however, bird-like voice. However, I do understand the ways, and there are definitely elements into being a perfectionist that I still hold near and dear to my heart, but it doesn't necessarily make me the all-out perfectionist that you can read about and that you see about and that you know about, and that's just not good. Recovering, there are things that I no longer do or find important. Sometimes I revert back. Other times I do not. It's a constant struggle. It's a constant daily struggle. Some days are easier than others. Other days are not, because it reverts back. And I just have to catch myself. And that's why I'm more thoughtful when it comes to the thinking process. But I'm more so relying on gut feeling and intuition if it just doesn't feel right, because I've been there, done that. And if I have to start thinking upon thinking upon thinking upon thinking about it, that's just not good. That's just not good for me. That's not good for anybody or anyone. For anyone. Having people go the opposite direction when I came around, having people not want to be around me because of the standards that they would have to live up to if I was around. That ain't good. That is not something that you would, that's not something that I would recommend. That is not something that I found entertaining. That's not something that I wanted. And so I took the necessary steps. I took the necessary direction to fix that character flaw that I possessed at the time. And more, it became, okay, I am just enjoying the presence. I am just enjoying whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be about flaws. It doesn't have to be about correction. It doesn't have to be about efficiency. If you want that, if you're asking for that, I can provide it and I can have it at the ready. But it's not something that I'm just going to offer up free and willy, because offering it up free and willy, free advice, because offering up free and willy basically gave the opposite effect. It wasn't helping. It was hurting, or it was just being ignored, or it was looked at as nagging or being highly critical, when there was no need to critique. You're amongst friends. You're amongst family. But I want the best for you. You should want the best for yourself. And being able to be comfortable with what I can't control, and being comfortable with not controlling or wanting to control everything, that helped me a lot from this character flaw. That helped me a lot with all of that bad guy energy. It put me in a position to transition to just understanding from the outside in, or the inside out. You pick, you choose. Gave you multiple choices. I'm just the narrator. I'm just the narrator. it gave me the opportunity to look at those positions for what they were, for those different mindsets, and appreciate it on a different level, that I enjoy the difference. I enjoy that you don't care about being the best version of yourself, even though I think differently, but because you feel this way, that's okay. I'm all right with that. You okay with it? I'm okay with it. And I find it interesting. I find it almost fulfilling that you can live your life and not have a care in the world, I should say, when it comes to this. When my entire being, my entire life is the complete opposite. I do care about being the best version of myself. I do care about being efficient. I do care about all of these things. And to be involved and to be around people who don't, I started looking at it from that perspective. I started looking at it from that lens. And me wanting to give advice, and me with all of the things that I just said, it changed for me. And I was just in awe. I was just admiring the fact that it's okay. They love themselves, and I love them for being able to love themselves for who they are and the way that they are, flaws and all, because it's the very thing that make us human. And I guess it was the very thing why so many at the time had jokey jokes and called me a robot. Jokey jokes and called me a robot. I ran with the jokes, and I still run with them now because, as I say, sometimes I slip back into it. Sometimes I don't, but not that slip back into. The appreciation, the admiration, that stays constant. There's other aspects of being a perfectionist or former perfectionist that I slip back into. That ain't one. That I'm cool with, that I understand, that one I accept. But there's a few other ones though. Man, it be hard. It is hard out here for a left-handed, former perfectionist trying to live in this world. You know, noobs, thank you. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the website at xtra.vdgsports.com. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. There's a YouTube as well. Everything is there. Videos, shorts. Yeah, you can wear shorts too. They short. They super short, but they ain't short like Daisy. Nuh-uh, not this time. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share. Everything is there. This episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince. You know what time it is. Peace.